I never disturb the wildlife. Once, of course, when in Tadoba, what happened? There was one tigress called Maya, and we were at a safe distance. Suddenly, she charged. Then I didn't know what to do. My friend ducked, and I was shooting Maya when she was charging. I got my FRPS for my set of tiger images. So I'm the first and only person in the world so far to get FRP fellowship on tigers.
As we are talking on the wildlife photography and wildlife journey, I want to know how to prepare for them.
Before you board the jeep, select the best season. You just see the season of the forest where you're going to, and go during the season. I see a lot of people, even my friends and other relatives who go. We went to this Tadoba. We didn't see a single tiger. You have to select the best season and go, and definitely you will end up seeing uh, plenty of tigers.
One thing, it is very costly, anyone can't do. So can you suggest like how to prepare on this, and then we start, we can save our money also on that.
Ensure that you have fully charged your batteries, you have empty cards, spare cards, and don't land up when there's something happening. If you have not downloaded your images and if your card is half full, you will finish the other half and you will not have any other spare card. So that will be the worst situation to happen to any wildlife photographer. I had gone out somewhere. My daughter called me on my cell, and she said somebody from RPS had called. They had called on my landline, and he said, "Congratulations, you have been awarded the fellowship." I was so thrilled because getting a fellowship is not an easy thing. He said, Mr. Praveen, I had the privilege of carrying your wonderful set, and it was a unanimous decision. All the five jury members were thrilled to see your images. And what I had done, I had selected the tiger images and I made it into a cycle, the life cycle of a tiger. That's what I had called my set.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode, Lens and Legacy with Amit Vyas. Today we are with Mr. Praveen sir. He is from Bangalore and doing photography since long. He is a good wildlife photographer, and we will know the journey, like how he started their photography, and then he's continuing nowadays. So, hello sir, welcome.
Hello.
Also, Lens and Legacy with Amit Vyas.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me for your channel.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, we wanted to know like what you are doing currently and how you come into the photography field. And
Okay, to start with, I basically work for the government of India. I work as an assistant commissioner in the Central GST and Customs Department. So, photography, before photography, acting was my hobby. And from the age of 7, I started acting in dramas, and then I went into television serials for the Kannada, and a couple of Telugu serials also had acted. So after that, 90 when we got married, I bought my first aim and shoot box camera. So that was my first camera. And after that, 90, though I had equipment, I had Yashica with 6300 lens in those days, because it was a big asset in those days, 6300 Tokina lens. Then I used to do a little bit of, so not very serious, and I didn't undergo any basic course as it is. So then 95, I happened to come across Youth Photographic Society in Bangalore. So then I think sometime during May or June, I joined the club, and immediately within 15 days, they had announced one workshop at Bandipur, a wildlife expedition to Bandipur. So that was my actual first wildlife trip, though I had been to Bandipur a couple of times. So with all the photographers, as a professional or tutored trip, that was my first one. So then, and believe me, that was one of the best sightings I ever had. I had seen scores of elephants, scores of gores. But since I didn't have the basic idea, I used to shoot randomly. And of course, I had got a couple of good shots in Ranganti too. And out of so many pictures, I think about 5 or 6 of them were selected. And I participated in that year's salon, YPS salon, and I couldn't get any acceptance because YPS salon, it is one of the toughest salons in India even today. So of course, I just missed it by a mark or so. Then after that, I started interacting and I started attending the YPS Mondays. Every Monday we used to have the session. So by interaction with all the senior fellow photographers and with their guidance, I started photography. Then I was right from my childhood, I was fascinated with the animal kingdom. So then I started liking the wildlife more than the other genres of photography. So I then became a wildlife, jumped into wildlife photography rather.
Okay. So how much it is difficult to go as a wildlife photographer, because it is not easy to go to any forest and capture. This is not like that, because it is very difficult to find out any animal, and we have to know the behavior, how he will behave.
Yeah, when you become a wildlife photographer, simultaneously you should also start learning about the behavior of the birds and animals. That is a basic thing for a wildlife photographer. Sometimes what happens will be there, and by chance you may happen to see some good event happening in front of you. So that is luck. And according to me, wildlife photography is 70% luck and 30% is our efforts. And in that, another 10% also, I said it is where you have to be very very lucky. So you in those film days, what used to happen, we would have shot a good event. So until the film roll came out of the process, the film came out of the lab, you never knew what you had shot. At least now, immediately you'll know the result, and you can reshoot if it is underexposed or what. So in those days, until the film came out of the lab, you never knew what was in the films. So, and knowing the behavior is, I say, it is very very important for any wildlife photographer. And one more thing, what you should know is not to disturb the wildlife. See, we have entered their kingdom, so it is our duty to respect the animals of the forest.
Yes, sir.
And of course, when it comes to that, and moreover, you should plan your trips. This I have seen so many people during they go to Corbett during November, December, January. Even today, I met a couple of photographers who were complaining. Say it was not. It is May onwards is a good season in Corbett. So likewise, every forest will have its own season or good best part of the sighting and all. So better select that and visit the forest during those seasons.
As you said, can you please tell our viewers, like if they want to go for wildlife photography, so what is the perfect time for different reason, right? Like suppose they are coming to Bangalore, so where they can go and they can capture the wildlife.
See, Bangalore, one advantage for wildlife photography is you have Rangantittu, which is a bird sanctuary. And if you come during December to April, there's one place called Kokrebeldur where you get the pelicans and painted storks at a very close distance. And we have Kabini, Nagarhole, Bandipura, which are all about 225, 250 kilometers from Bangalore. And up north, you have this Dandeli, and there you get hornbills. It's a mixture of both birds and wildlife in Karnataka, and definitely summer is the best season for elephants here. If you go to Kabini especially, and tiger, of course, you'll not believe, 90 was my first visit to Bandipur. I saw the first tiger in Bandipur in 2008. So that was it was so difficult to see tigers in Bandipur. I may say mainly because Bandipur forest is evergreen forest and a very thick forest. So sighting tigers is very difficult. So I have taken about 18 years to sight a tiger. Now tiger sighting has become very very frequent in Bandipur, Kabini, and all this. Even in fact, I keep joking. Elephant sighting has become rare in Bandipur than the tigers.
Is there any incident which you still remember that was the toughest one, or
Toughest, I don't consider anything as tough because wildlife photography itself is tough.
very
So you should, in anticipation, I believe in anticipation and I go by my sixth sense. So suppose something is happening there, so you should anticipate what happens next. And that, of course, I say it comes by experience. And sometimes, say, for example, in Kana, once if you go to the major forests of India, these drivers and guides, they say, tiger, got the news that there's a tiger there. Where is the tiger? See, I tell very clearly to my drivers and guides, I don't want to see tigers. I've seen enough tigers. I want to take pictures or make a picture. No, I don't want to see a tiger. So somewhere it will be sitting in the bush. So I definitely don't want to shoot such type of pictures. So in fact, once what happened, one I think spotted deer carcass was lying there, and two jackals were eating that, and vultures slowly started coming, and there was a lot of fight happening between the two. So then one tiger was spotted somewhere nearby. Then I told the driver, "You forget about the tiger." I asked him, "Where is it?" He said, "In the bush." I said, "Then forget about it. We'll spend the whole we spent the whole session there shooting the fight between the jackal and the vultures." So such type of the incidents, if you feel this is something rare or sitting in a bush tigers, definitely I wouldn't prefer to see. I prefer this over that. So it depends on your luck and what you want to shoot.
Sir, we wanted to know about the gear, what we you are using while you are doing the wildlife photography.
Gears, I would say, be prepared for any situation, right from wide angle to the zoom lenses. So normally when I go to a forest, I carry my 18-250. I have Nikon cameras and I have Sigma lenses. And recently I bought one mirrorless. So I have a Sigma 300, which is my prime lens and camera. Yeah, yeah, that is my main any day reliable equipment for me. So then I use my 150 600 and 70 200. And though I'll be having my 18 250 also, it depends on which forest you're in. If it is Ranthambore, definitely I'll use 18 250 mounted on one camera, because the tiger comes so close. And sometimes even the elephants, you may need wide angle lens. And for the birds, of course, definitely 300 800 or something around 50 500 600 is best. Gear, I would suggest, depends on. And when buying the equipment also, you should know what you want to shoot. So suppose though I have a macro, so far I have not done a single macro picture, but somehow it has not attracted. Not attracted. I've never found time to go for the macro work. So maybe I'll be starting shortly. So if you don't want to do macro, just buy a zoom lens and one wide angle. That is sufficient. See, as it is, photography is a very expensive hobby. So you have to decide what you have to buy and how you can reduce the cost. So one zoom lens and one wide angle is good enough for wildlife. But definitely you should have a 500 or a 600.
Great, great, sir. Uh, do you remember your time when you got your first award and how excited it was?
Yeah, first time award I remember, because we had been to Munnar. In those days, we just left from Bangalore. Munnar is about 550, 600 kilometers from Bangalore. So Friday night, we left from Bangalore. We reached Munnar in the morning. So I didn't know the topography of that place, because I was just entered wildlife photography. So, and it was shivering cold. So, and Munnar is a very cold place, and it was shivering cold. And morning we went straight to that Ervikulam forest. And in those days it was the film cameras, and I was shooting only on the not the I was shooting on the negative. So I had not yet started. That was my second trip, I think. So then we got some good pictures. We came back, and I had entered for the tier salon in YPS. So by luck, I got the first award. It was two Nilgiri fighting picture. So that won the first award. I was really thrilled. One is it was a YPS award, and that was my first award, my wildlife photography award. So I was really thrilled. Definitely, I remember that picture also.
Yes. I have seen so many images you are submitting for the competitions also, saloons also, and you are very known for your some of the images. As you are also can see, these images are very beautiful, and you will learn how he is giving his effort to click those images. Sir, if is there any image you still want to capture that is your dream image?
Yeah, I got my FRPS for my set of tiger images.
Yes.
So I'm the first and only person in the world so far to get FRP fellowship on tigers. So which I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
So one picture that is missing in my tiger series is the tiger mating picture. That is one thing. Twice actually. Nowadays it is common, but unfortunately, see, when twice I missed the opportunity. Once in Ranthambore, when the male and female, the male came very close to the female, Then we were sure that it would start the courtship. Immediately there was a big tufan, and it started raining heavily, and we had to rush back. And another one was just 2 years back in Tadoba. Same thing happened. The male and female they came, and because of the heavy disturbance, both the male went inside. So that these two opportunities I really missed, and I'm just waiting for an opportunity to get the mate. That is one picture I've been missing in my set of tiger images.
This you will get the request.
Thank you, thank you.
Apart from this, did you try for other photography, other genre?
Yeah, of course. I do for travel photography also. And earlier, when I started photography, and after joining YPS and seeing all those classes and all, I used to do a lot of still life and portraits.
Yeah.
And I used to shoot, of course, for my cousin was a dancer, so she had a school for. I used to shoot the for the their brochures and all. I used to shoot the pictures of the dancers. So, and of course, I have tried all that. Not that I'm just only into wildlife. My passion is wildlife.
Yes, yes. I heard somewhere like your wife is supporting you everywhere when you are going for the photography. Can you please share some moment?
Yeah, see, when after I joined YPS in '99, I became the president of YPS, and I was the president for about 11 years.
Yeah.
So, in those activities, my entire family was involved in activities of YPS, and even she used to help me out with a lot of running around work, and especially going to the press and other places which where we had to distribute the invitations, or and even my daughters were in those days we used to paste the images on the board. So now it was not the digital, it was the prints. Yeah, so all those work used to happen in my place, and my entire family was involved in that, and all the our committee members used to come to our place, and we used to do all the pasting work. And of course, once in a way I take my entire family, and some now that my daughters are not with us, one is married and one is in US, so I take my wife out. She is she,
I know about your daughters also. They are also doing the photography.
yeah, my younger daughter is into wildlife photography, and she is the youngest. And when she got her ARPS, she was the youngest in the world to get ARPS at the age of 17. And she is also into wildlife. And now she's in the US, and not doing much, though she has a camera.
So, sir, as you told about print salon while we were having the print exhibition, how much it was difficult to arrange that print exhibition and showing the images, because we were getting so many entries, but it was very toughest to exhibit.
Yeah, of course, definitely. In those days, see, for one is it used to be very bulky.
Yeah.
So carrying the entire set of this one for the judging, presenting before the judges, and moreover, handling it was the main thing. See, I have seen many salons when once we send the pictures, it used to come back in a very bad shape. They never used to bother to put it in the same packet what we used to send. Normally, we used to put the corrugated plastic sheets, and in between we used to keep the pictures and send it to them. And they just used to put it in one plain paper and send it back. So the package what we sent wouldn't come back most of the time. So that used to damage the prints. So in that aspect, I really I'm proud of our club. We used to handle it so well. In fact, we used to wear gloves and handle the prints so that even the fingerprint should not be found on the prints. And we used to handle it with both the hands. Now, some people, if you have noticed, they handle the picture like this. So there will be a thumb impression on the this one, and there will be a triangular mark on that. So you should always hold the picture like this. Even when that is the reason. Whenever people wanted to see the pictures, I used to hold it and show it to them. I know you used to allow them to touch that, because see, you don't. See, they're all they just want to see the picture. They don't know how to handle it. So it is better you only show it to them and take it back.
So nowadays we are using digital camera, mirrorless camera is also there. So how you found like digital images are easy to capture, or that time we were having?
I definitely say the thrill what we had in those days was something different. See, until you when we used to go for a forest, normally I go for 10 safaris, that is about 5 days. Journey, all that put together comes to 7 days. So after we come back, I had to make myself free and go to the lab, give the roles for developing. So he will ask me to come back in the evening to check that. So then I used to see that until the print comes out, we had the thrill how my images come out and all. So now it is instant. So that thrill is gone now.
Yeah.
But of course, definitely, digital the advent of digital has taken photography to a different level. See, now in those days, getting pictures of birds in flight itself was so difficult. I mean, I'm talking of the sharp images. Now we see even insect pictures in flight, such sharp images, wasps carrying the mud and all that. It is superb. Now, for photography, I think the advent of digital has taken all of us to great heights.
So now we are using mirrorless camera also. So what is the basic difference between DSLR and mirrorless, and which one we have to use while
Uh,
photography?
for wildlife, actually, if you don't want, some people feel that the sound of the shutters will be disturbing and all. But I say nowadays all the animals are used to the amount of noise people make is nothing when compared to all the shutter noise. And of course, mirrorless is definitely it's faster and definitely it'll give us a lot of good images which wouldn't have thought in those film days. Forget about the digital era. No, now definitely it has. You have so much of upper and 20 frames per second, 40 frames, and all this has definitely taken us to a different level now.
Yes. So can you please tell to our viewers if they want to make a career in the wildlife photography, how they can pursue for that?
Seriously, if you ask me honestly, there's no much money involved in this until and unless you start your own group and take people out for the workshops. Now, people buying pictures has come down drastically because everybody downloads it from the net, and you'll not believe many of our pictures are being used, misused without our knowledge. Only if somebody tells us, we'll come to know that my image is used in this place without even credit to the photographer. That is the worst thing to happen to any photographer. So, of course, if seriously, if you want to make money, you have to struggle a lot and you have to earn a name first, and then you can think of making money. That is my honest
Yes.
opinion, which many people may not agree also.
Mhm. Now we will have one rapid round fire.
Okay,
Uh, favorite animal to photography?
tiger.
Dream location for your next shoot?
Masai Mara.
Okay. And one photographer who inspired you to do the wildlife photography?
Uh, I can't consider one name,
Okay.
but of course I had a help of Mr. B. Srinivas and H. Satish. We are both of all three of us used to go together and do a lot of photography at the initial stage of my career. So definitely both of them have inspired me, and I'm also inspired by their images.
You want to give any message to our youth? We are looking for.
Definitely, see, wildlife photography is a very beautiful hobby. Of course, not just wildlife photography, the entire genre in photography, whatever uh, is there in photography, it is all a very beautiful zone. And camera possessing a camera itself is a matter of pride. If you want to seriously pursue the wildlife photography, my earnest request is to all of you is be a disciplined wildlife photographer. That is the most important thing, and do not try to disturb the animal or bird just for the want of a picture, and avoid disturbing them. And of course, wait. You should have develop a lot of patience. Have patience, and patience will definitely pay. If not today, tomorrow it will pay. This I would like to tell the younger generation of
Thank
today.
you. Thank you. Sir, I also want to know about your distinctions, how you got those distinctions.
Actually, to be honest, all my distinctions, what I've got, I was able to get those distinctions quite fast in my career because of a lot of guidance from my seniors. So, my first distinction was my AFIAP. So, of course, in those days, we just had to submit about 10 pictures. In those days, it was
Yes.
negative form when I was shooting. And those, whatever was selected was sent to the FIAM, the FIP headquarters, and from there they used to send it to Luxembourg for awarding the distinction. So normally, whenever the first panel used to meet here in India, and they used to select out of maybe 20 different authors' images, about five or eight were to be selected, and they used to send it. And normally, it never used to get rejected once the panel is selected in India. So never everybody whoever was selected used to get the distinction. So EFIAP was slightly tougher one where you had certain in those days it was 50 acceptances and all those. Now of course the rules are totally changed. So my FIAP distinctions were my first distinction. I had my AFIAP and EFIAP. Then I applied for MFIAP, and MFIAP had selected the birds images where I had submitted about 20 images of birds. I had called it as the winged beauties. So 20 images of birds made my MFIAP set. So, and I was the seventh person in India to get MFIP. And of course, except Mr. Benusen and Mr. Susanta, all other MFIP holders were from Bangalore only. So it was nice in those days where all these top distinction holders from Bangalore. It was a nice feel.
Yeah.
So then after that, I applied for ARPS. ARPS was, of course, assorted images of both the birds and animals. And after once I happened to meet, I happened to invite Mr. Rajan Babu to one of our YPS judging. So then, when I went to his room, I wanted to take him to the railway station. So we had about half an hour's time. So I was just discussing. Mr. Rajan Babu was the first in India to get the fellowship on nude images. So that was one subject. That nude images was one subject, and I just interacted. And during the course of that interaction, I just had an idea, and I told him, "Why can't I try on one like how you have got on one particular this one that nude images? So I also want to try on one particular animal, maybe a tiger." And he said, "Yeah, why don't you try? Nobody has tried. Why don't you try?" So that really inspired me to try it on tiger images. Then after that, I sent my 20 images for the fellowship, and then they said you change about three or four pictures. So we want to see more of mother and cub interaction. So immediately that it was I think yeah May I went to Bandhavgarh, and I was very lucky to get mother and three cubs during that trip, and we got excellent images of that mother and three cubs interaction, drinking water. So I almost they asked me to change about three pictures. Then I changed about 11 pictures out of the 20. Then I sent, and after that, one fine day, my I was not in my house. I had gone out somewhere. My daughter called me on my cell, and she said somebody from FIAM, RPS had called. They had called on my landline. Then they asked me for your mobile number, and I've given the mobile number, and they may call you. So immediately I got a call from RPS, and the chairman of that Royal Photographic Society, who is in charge of the distinction. He called me and he said, "Congratulations, you have been awarded the fellowship." I was so thrilled because getting a fellowship is not an easy thing. So I was really thrilled, and he said, Mr. Praveen, I had the privilege of carrying your wonderful set, and it was a unanimous decision. All the five jury members were thrilled to see your images. And what I had done, I had selected the tiger images and I made it into a cycle, the life cycle of a tiger. That's what I had called my set. So the one row contained the various behavior of the tiger. The second set contained the family life of the tiger, and the third, this one, how the tiger becomes an independent hunter. I think separates from the mother, and there'll be infights among the cubs, where each cub will try to get its own territory, and separation from the mother, and how he becomes an independent ruler. So that's how I had arranged my set. So and they had liked that set very much, and moreover, he said, "This is the first of its kind. We are also seeing. We were so thrilled that somebody could think of these lines to apply for fellowship, and that maybe And moreover, tiger, they also know, they are also hardcore wildlife enthusiasts. They'll know the difficulty of sighting a tiger. So that is how I got my fellowship.
So, sir, I want to know about the process for getting the fellowship, for submitting the images. Like we have to prepare the portfolio for that.
Yeah.
So, can you please guide our audience like how they can prepare the portfolio and then they can
See, for the basic distinctions like the AF, and ARPS, I suggest you show all genres of photography that you're into. Like if you're into macro, you may you include about 4 or 5 images of macro. And if you're into birds, you include birds and animals. Animals also you can make two different, this one, the carnivores and the herbivores, and like that. So it's better the first set of the basic distinction, let it show that what your interest is into, like all genres of wildlife, I mean like all categories of wildlife. And for the higher distinction, that needs a specialized concentration, and maybe birds in action, or birds with feet, or animals in action, and the confrontation among the some like fights happening, so things like that. So you specialize on that and try to concentrate on such images. And once you feel, and one thing is, technically it has to be perfect, all these images, especially the RPS people, they don't accept the tail cut or the legs being cut. They don't encourage the portraits of the animals. And of course, now even normally earlier when we used to submit pictures for the salon, we used to show the entire body of the animal or bird. So now we see so many portraits getting winning awards even at international level. So now, of course, things have changed. So, but when you want to go for a higher distinction, you have to specialize in one particular, like as I said, action shots, or something which depicts the entire son of the animal or bird.
Okay, sir, thank you. So, apart from these, as we are talking on the wildlife photography and wildlife journey, I want to know how to prepare for that, because it is one thing. It is very costly. Anyone can't do. So, can you suggest like how to prepare on this, and then we start? We can save our money also on that.
Yeah, for if many people who can afford to go alone, that is a different story. And to reduce the expenses, I suggest make a group of 3 or 4, not more than 4. Because especially if you're going for a tiger country, 4 in a gypsy, though they take about, we have to pay for 6, and they carry 6 passengers. For photography purpose, I just suggest 3 to 4, not more than that. Because all of us will be carrying one or two big, or definitely one big lens, and it'd be very difficult to move around, and especially when good sighting is happening. And one thing is, in when you go in a group, please try to, I mean, try not to be selfish. You need picture, I agree. Even the another person who is with you, even he has paid for the trip, even he needs a picture. So try to accommodate them also. Once you are done shooting, let the other person also take. Suppose we have something on the left hand side. What we do is, the person sitting next to on this left side will go to a lower angle, and the other person will shoot above me, and that is how we help the other partners. That is one main thing. And of course, select the best season. You just see the season of the forest where you are going to, and go during the season. I see a lot of people, even my friends and other relatives who go. We went to this Tadoba. We didn't see a single tiger. You have to select the best season and go, and definitely you will end up seeing uh, plenty of tigers. And preparation part, definitely you, when you, before you board the jeep, you ensure that you have fully charged your batteries, you have empty cards, spare cards, and don't land up when there's something happening. If you have not downloaded your images, and if your card is half full, you will finish the other half, and you will not have any other spare card. So that will be the worst situation to happen to any wildlife photographer. When something good is happening, or when there's a good sighting, if you don't have a card, that is the first thing to happen. That is real bad luck, I say. And anticipation is important, and patience is one big thing which a wildlife photographer should have. And when there is a tiger sitting in the bush, just wait, don't leave that place, wait for other jeeps to go, because see, these guides and tourists, they want the passengers, their tourists, to show them maximum tigers. So most of them will not have patience. They'll say, chalo bhai, dusra jagah dekhenge, and these people will leave. And if you have patience, definitely the tiger will come out after all the disturbance, and you will get good opportunities to shoot. And same case with other animals also. If there's no disturbance, definitely. And try to maintain the distance. When we have zoom lenses, I don't know why, I've seen many people say, go nazdik jao. What is the use of a zoom lens for us? See, sitting here, when you can shoot an animal which is about 15-20 feet away, there's no point in going closer to the animal. See, one, and there's always a safe distance which has to be maintained between the photographer and the animal or bird, whatever it is. So, be in a place which is good enough to, if you get a good image on your frame, that is good enough. When you're seeing through the viewfinder, you will be happy. If you're happy with the size of the image, that is good enough. So, no need of going closer. Mainly keep all your batteries charged, have spare cards, and have the equipment which suits the forest. Like as I told you, if you're in Ranthambore, if you have only 500 mm, that will not serve the purpose. You have to have a wide angle lens, because we don't know how when the tiger will come close to us. And even in elephant country, because elephants being a huge animal, so you have to have, when there's a big herd of elephant, you have to have a wide angle lens. So your zoom lens will not work in those places until and unless you just want to shoot their portraits.
So, have you faced any situation where like danger animal come to you and
No, as it is, as I told you, I never disturb the wildlife. So I always try to maintain a safe distance. So that way, we have never come across any situation where, once, of course, when in Tadoba, what happened, there was one tigress called Maya. I think last year she went missing. So we were only two gypsies were on the road, because that zone, no other jeep had come, and most of the roads in Tadoba is one way, so you can't, the other gypsies can't come the opposite direction. So my gypsy was behind, my other the team members, they were in the gypsy in the front. So two of us were in my gypsy, and she was just walking on the, not even on the road, she was walking on the grass. So suddenly she took a leap on the road, and looking at us, she charged. No disturbance, nothing, and we were at a safe distance. Suddenly she charged. Then I didn't know what to do. My friend ducked, and I was shooting Maya when she was charging. I didn't even think to. I mean, somehow my instinct didn't tell me to duck. My other friend, he ducked. I was busy shooting. You will not believe. I had a 70-200. So I think 3 feet or something is the minimum focus distance. I have got an image where the face is blurred and the tail is sharp. It was so close. It has come almost very close to the jeep. So then we started telling the other driver to move forward. Then she kept quiet. I don't know what that instinct, what happened to her. I don't know. That moment, all of a sudden she charged, though there was no disturbance and there was no point to charge also. Then of course we moved forward. Of course, apart from that, all these mock charges and all keep happening. These elephant mock charges, these things and all keep happening. And once I remember when I was in a hide doing some bird photography. Suddenly, all these the birds, other birds other than the one what I was shooting, started flying and making a lot of noise. Then suddenly I felt some this one. I was standing. I was not sitting. I was standing with the tripod and I was shooting. And then I felt a snake in between my legs. Suddenly it moved. So these risks are there in wildlife photography. And because when we are shooting, especially outdoor, in a hide or sitting on a stool or a rock shooting birds, we'll not know what is happening next to us. So it is a bit risky. And I suggest people keep a watch around you once in a way when you're not shooting, to see what is next to us.
sir, we wanted to know about bird photography as we are talking in this wildlife. We talk about lions, elephant, tigers. But how it is difficult to capture flying birds? Like they are flying, and we have to capture it. Eyes could be
Yeah.
clear and everything. We are focusing on. So how it is?
So normally, whenever, of course, sometimes I shoot with whatever setting I have. If I particularly want to shoot the bird in flight, then I put it on dynamic focus. So dynamic focus definitely helps us to get a sharp image. However, you shoot about 8-10 frames, 1 out of 10 definitely will. Only thing is sometimes see what happens when the wing it flaps the wing. So if it is in dynamic focus, the focus will go on this part. Sometimes you may lose the eye focus, so that you have to take a chance. Maybe when the wings go to the top, then you will get a clear shot of sharp image of the bird, complete bird. So I shoot on dynamic focus. Yeah, for whenever I want to shoot birds in flight.
Oh.
So sometimes we'll be shooting some bird here, and all of a sudden some bird comes in flight. So in such places, it's you have to take a chance.
We have seen so many birds eating insect and others also. There are so many images of which bird is feeding to their babies.
Mm.
So how to find out that there it is actually they are doing?
Oh,
Because it is very difficult to know like the bird is feeding to.
yeah, see, basically nest photography I don't encourage much
Okay.
because that is a disturbance to the chicks.
Yeah.
And there are a few birds, not that all everybody disturbs them. There are a few birds where it builds the nest in the open. So like this paradise flycatcher.
Yes.
So these build in the open. So and most of the competitions don't allow this nest photography these days. They think that it is a disturbance and all. Of course, it is a good thing to discourage them because we don't know what whether he has really disturbed them or he has shot without disturbing. And some people, though, as I told you, though they have zoom lenses, they try to go as close as possible to the bird, which definitely disturbs the bird, and it will never come and feed the chick. It stops feeding the chick for a long time, and if the duration is too much, the chick may die. So definitely, just for the purpose of your image, you are killing one chick, which is definitely not a good sign of a good ethics to be followed in wildlife photography. Bird photography, of course, it is tough identifying the nest, and now there are a lot of people who I mean they build a hide and they keep a perch near the nest, and a lot of people are doing that photography, especially this ODKF and all those birds. They build a hide, and a lot of photographers have shot those ODKF sitting in the hide.
So apart from this, any other thing would you like to share with you?
See, one main thing I would like to share, which many of them may not like or see, one is when you're showing the picture of an animal or bird, be true to yourself and show what you have shot without any manipulation. Yeah, we have seen many pictures where the entire scenario is manipulated. Like he would have shot in a different background. And when you see the final image, it has become a beautiful green image with a beautiful bouquet. So somehow I don't like that. Maybe for a viewer it may be nice, but I don't want to cheat my viewer. Whenever I share the picture, I all my images, whatever I have shot, I have not done any such manipulations.
Sir, I got one question just now in my mind. Like Photography Society of India and FIAP having some specific rule regarding the nature. While you are submitting the images, they have to take care of those definitions.
Yeah.
So can you please tell our viewers like what definition or like in wildlife you cannot include any elements?
See, wildlife photography, especially Royal Photographic Society, has very strict rules about it. That the hand of man should not be seen in any of the images. So if they suppose you are shooting a bird, a very rare bird, if it has a ring, that is not accepted actually.
Okay.
Though some this one they say it is accepted because it's and we have so many pictures we would have seen of owls and owl catching a rodent. So we were told that those are all made images. It's not by fluke or just like that making a picture somewhere. So they're all trained owls where they leave the rodent and they come and hunt it down, and so those things are happening. And here, as per the definition of the PS and all, they say that you're not supposed to manipulate any of the image. Like suppose there's a big rock which is blocking the image, or which attracts the eye of the viewer towards that rock, and that entire thing is removed and made into a beautiful bush or a green patch. So those things are not encouraged. And once, in case they ask for the raw image, and when you submit the raw image, if they find that you have manipulated with the image, those pictures will be rejected. So that is what I'm telling you. Be true and show the viewer what you have shot. And suppose there's a twig cutting on the body of the animal, like that. This is how you are shot. See, whether you get an award or whether the judges accept it for an award is secondary. So what you have shot, you are showing and you are submitting. So it is up to them to accept as it is. And some people don't like the images of the jungle path being shown in the picture. So, but of course, animals are found in forest where it has jungle path. Now, of course, earlier we never used to shoot pictures when they were crossing, and of course, shoot in the sense, not we never used to submit for the salons. But now even such images are being submitted for the salon, where a rhino crosses the game road, a tiger or a tusker on the track. All these images we are seeing in the salons. Earlier, definitely it was not accepted. Or as I told you, the hand of man is not to be shown.
We have seen so many images like elephant tuskers, like they are throwing some mud. And
Yeah.
can you please share any story you have captured there?
Oh, see, these I have not captured much of those shots, but uh, see, one or two images of top photographers are really mind blowing. Like Mr. Permal has an image of a huge tusker throwing the mud on its back, and especially after it comes out of the water, or taking a bath. Normally, it's like how we use the talcum powder. So like that, the elephant, what it takes the mud and throws it on the body, mainly to I mean, for the purpose of the insects, not which will be on the body. So mainly for that, it will be throwing the mud on the. And for photographer, that's a delight, especially if tusker with a huge, beautiful tusk in the backlit portion, getting such image is a real dream image.
Definitely. Okay. So I remember like there is one photographer who wanted to show the bird is coming directly to the water and to capture the fish. I don't remember the exact name, but he want the exact like 90-degree kind of sign that he want to capture that fish. You remember that?
No, but I was told that some images like that are being made now, where of course you have to, in such situation, once you see the bird diving into the water, so these people, what you have to do is you have to set put it on the manual mode. You have to shoot on manual mode. You just imagine where the bird may dive, and set it to that, focus it to that, and you have to take a chance. Not that
I
you'll.
remember that photographer took around 90 days or more than that to
It
capture that.
it may happen. It may happen. It may happen.
Thank you, sir. So it was nice talking to you.
Same here.
Thanks again, and thanks for coming to us.
So thanks for inviting me, and hope, and I wish you all the best, and I wish the viewership will cross 5 figures.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.